not right. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they're telling me
So
that
I understand now.
scientists think that quantum perturbations are physical existences, but they're not. They're just the mirrors refracting the different things. Those are the things that you were talking about with the cameras.
Yeah. So,
different angles. No! It's happening again. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is it on? Can you see it?
M.
This is M. And I'm Liv.
And we're
PsycKicks. What? I got a giggle out of you. Is it a real giggle?
No. This is an uncomfortable situation giggle.
We're gonna be talking about parallel universes as interdimensional things.
My brain's gonna hurt.
I mean, like, you see me now?
No.
Now I'm in another dimension, and now I'm here, and now I'm in another dimension, and now I'm here. Like that is what we're gonna talk about. Today we're talking about parallel universes, and are you ready to have your minds blown? Because mine was blown months ago, but I'm lost footage, so here we are doing it again.
But when we recorded this the first time, Liv did the research, and she was like, okay, M.
Insert patronizing voice of Olivia, past Liv. I want you to tell me what you think.
About what, though?
About
your topic is astronomically huge. Do you want to talk to your spirit guides and the spirits of the universe to tell me what parallel universes are? And I straight up was like, okay, you want me to talk for like an hour about this? What do you want me to tell you?
Do you think it is possible to have a different physical Earth somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why? Do you think that too?
I don't know, it's hard for me to think that that would be plausible, but also it's equally as easy for me to be like, oh, we fucked up somewhere, it's gotta be different somewhere.
It is and it isn't. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, and that's what I've been losing my mind about since 6 o'clock this morning.
Okay. The best way for me to describe that, they're like showing me images because my ability to communicate this information is not a thing today. So there's one Earth. There's one Earth.
Sorry.
Time basically is like a camera that films someone's existence. So this is Earth, and then this is the person experiencing life in Earth. So a timeline would be like creating a movie. So you have this camera here that's creating this VHS. This is all the decisions that you made within this lifetime, and it also encompasses all of the decisions that's made on Earth in general. This is your movie. However, you make different decisions because there's another camera, and they are filming a different life that is based upon the decisions that you made. So this is the DVD of this lifetime that you had. However, you're still having it on Earth. However, it might be a different way of Earth being appeared because everyone made different decisions as well. So everything is affected by the decisions that you are making. However, there is still one Earth.
One Earth?
Person. Yes.
Okay. Because the way I understand it is that there's not one Earth. There's a whole bunch of freaking lots of Earths.
In these movies.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in existence.
What do you mean?
There's not just one Earth. There is replicas of our solar system, and each single replica is like a gene. And the gene, think of our universe constructively, is one gene. It's a thing. It does something. And then there's another replica of our universe. However, the gene is different. It's still a gene, but it's slightly different. So the laws and things about that universe are slightly off from what we understand. Mm-hmm. Because it was mutated, if you want to put it in the same genetic format that I'm like trying to relate it to.
Okay.
And there's a lot of them. So that's why there's different people in different timelines, but technically you're the same person, but slightly different.
This is still explaining the same thing that you're explaining to me. You just don't understand it in the same manner.
Well, you keep saying that there's only one Earth.
Yeah.
But there's not. That's the whole thing of multiverses. You think there's only one Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But how is it that you're living on one Earth and there's another one of you right now at this point in time making a different decision?
I don't know how to explain it other than what I showed you. There is an Earth in this DVD of all the decisions you made. There is an Earth in this VHS of all the decisions that you made.
But you think there's only one universe and one Earth?
I don't know what you mean by one, necessarily.
Because you say there's only one Earth.
I don't think it matters how many there are.
That's the whole premise.
It's just a scene. Like, if you were filming a movie, this is the set where you're filming the movie. However, you could film Friends on the set, or you can film Full House. This is the set for you to do so.
Oh yeah, no, there's different
However,
sets.
This is the thing that you get out of that. That is the lives. That is what the multiverse is these things. The DVDs and VHSs, the movie part.
But yeah, I did not understand what we were talking about during the video, and then in the podcast, which will come out this Sunday, I had my entire metaphysical socks blown off, and my cheeks are still red from that spiritual spanking that I received.
I can't wait for you to edit that.
And I don't remember it, so it's gonna be brand new.
But yeah, a few months ago, I was talking to Liv, and this man showed up, and we figured out that this man is my future self. If that doesn't already screw with you, if you already had your mind blown already. But this future self of mine, I just like started asking him questions through Liv, which was hilarious because I was literally asking him about parallel universes and Liv had no idea what was going on, but was answering my questions to a T.
Because I was channeling spirit. I take brain out of head, put in pickle jar.
But they weren't explaining it to you, was the funny part. They were literally talking over you.
Claircognizance.
Like a child. So
I am child.
So when I started figuring out I was a psychic medium, spirits kept telling me things about my future, and I'm like, I don't need to know that! That sounds so ridiculous! So I thought that there were, like, our future was predetermined, and I couldn't do anything about these predetermined points in my life, but I also was so confused because people are like, free will is a thing. We can't affect your free will. So that's why I started asking Liv questions to my, future self. And one of the things that I asked him was about the parallel universes. It's like when we exist, the things that are predetermined are not the actions that happen, it's the questions that come our way, which is why we have free will to deal with the questions in either way. So, for example, you'll get a question that says, do you want this career? That decision's going to come on your path of existence, and you're going to hit this point that's
checkpoint.
Like, do you want to have this job or not? And us as human beings think that we'd make the decision and that's that. However, there is a parallel universe where you make the opposite decision of that. So I was asking her questions specifically about that, and literally my future self was just giving her yes and no answers because it was too much information for her at the time.
It's still too much information. We did the podcast because when we originally recorded this video, Em thought I understood what she was talking about, and I was arguing with her about the physicality of the parallel universes that I understand from what science has told us. So that's where I was stuck, was in physicality. And if you guys are like PsycKicks, like veterans of this channel, then you get physicality can't interfere with what you're learning necessarily when we're talking about metaphysical things. But if you're new to this channel, I'm sorry, there's one person that left a comment and was like, every time I watch one of your videos, I have an existential existence crisis.
This is that video.
And I was like, same dude, I get it.
Same dude.
Every time. So I'm going to be reading my notes. I got this off of the internet. This is not my thoughts. These are other smart people's thoughts. And I've tried to break it down. If there's any physicists that are watching this by happenstance, because the algorithms are funny, then feel free to correct me or give me your bit change of what you perceive it to be instead. So, yeah. A parallel universe is known also as a parallel dimension, alternate universe, or alternate reality. It is a hypothetical, self-contained plane of existence coexisting with one's own existence. It is the sum of all potential parallel universes that constitute reality. They are often referred to as the multiverse, collectively. When we're looking at parallel universes and the idea or theory of parallel universes or the multiverse, we first have to look at the Big Bang. What is the Big Bang? It's not just a really funny dude on the, what is it, ABC? I think it was ABC, Big Bang Theory, Sheldon. Anyways, it's an actual thing. So, the Big Bang is viewed as a quantum process that has generated quantum fluctuations. And we'll get into the verbiage of this in a moment. So the Big Bang is viewed as a quantum process that has generated quantum fluctuations. During this event, the universe grew rapidly, and these quantum fluctuations, which resulted from the giant combustion of energy known as the Big Bang, were frozen into these things called classical perturbations in distinct regions. So you have the Big Bang, which is this big thing of energy coming together and then exploding outward. This explosion of energy outward, my little silly fingers, are the quantum fluctuations. Now within these quantum fluctuations are smaller clusters of energy that are known as the classical perturbations, stuck in distinct regions or in their own areas in space. Got it? Inflation caused these quantum fluctuations, and it's not the inflation that's happening right now. It's not like cereal's more expensive than anything else. Something called inflation, and it's not economic inflation, it's physical cosmology inflation. What it is that in physical cosmology, cosmic inflation, also known as cosmological inflations or simply referred to as inflation, is a theory of exponential expansion of space after the event of the Big Bang. If you don't know what exponential means, it means just ever getting bigger. The inflation epoch, or the cool storyline of when the Big Bang occurred and all of those particles exploded into just immense amounts of energy, lasted from 10 to 36 seconds after the conjuncted Big Bang in singularity, and sometime between 10 to 33 and 10 to 32 seconds after the singularity. So those inflationary epochs, there was the Big Bang, an epoch, and then another one. So it kind of I don't know, just like a jellyfish when they do that thing, and move themselves forward if they have the ability to do that.
Did they do that more than once or more than twice?
Why don't you ask the what are they called?
I don't know, this tiny.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The things, the angels.
Oh, the seraphim?
Yes! That's the fucking seraphims, M.
Yeah. But they're showing me how the dimensions happened, because they're showing me where this pit of energy was, and that's where everything is really slow, more solid, and then the core kind of did this, and because of that, that changes the frequency of how far away it is from this interpiece.
But I thought that there would only be one universe, right? Because if there's one Big Bang, there's one universe, right?
Is the Big Bang the universe? I thought Big Bang was a creator.
Yes, it is. I thought the Big Bang was creator of our universe because there's one universe and it's ever expanding, right?
It is.
It's not just one universe, though.
Well, it's everything.
I know, but I thought it was just one universe. It's not. It's multiple universes. Okay, so it's interesting because I like to draw connections between things that we understand in our world now and then expand upon it, because in my eyes there's a really, really old book by Christian Catholic scientists, and it's called I can't remember now. It's the theory of all things or something like that. But it's basically this dude that was everything that God created we can understand in our physical surroundings because he gave us clues to understand how the world around us works. So liverwort or liver root, whatever it is, the plant looks like a liver. So if you eat it, it helps with liver problems. Things like that. That's the entire premises of the book, is that there's these secret hidden clues of that God made things in a way so that we can understand the world around us. So as a scientist, you learn, and even in school, you learn cells and in cell growth. Specifically, when cells grow or generate when you're creating like a person, so like during embryonic development, there is a rapid explosion of growth that slowly dwindles down until you pop out. But the fastest cellular growth happens right at the beginning of embryonic development, and then it slowly slows down. So it's interesting that the Big Bang, this development of our universe, works just like how you were developed, literally. It makes me happy. I love the like little like.
Well, yeah, it follows the same rules. It's like
Science.
almost like we're the body of God. Sorry.
It's like the science of synchronicities. It makes me happy. So let's talk about quantum fluctuations. We said that the Big Bang was this giant quantum fluctuation, and that is a temporary random change in the amount of energy in a point in space, literally in space. So since the Big Bang is this quantum fluctuation or exploding of energy in a condensed space, it caused the classical perturbations. Now, the classical perturbations in a physics understanding is a secondary influence on a system that causes it to deviate slightly. So, our universe, our understanding of space as we know it, our Milky Way and beyond that we can see, is one of those classical or perturbations. Our entire existence as a universe is one perturbation. However, there are a lot of them.
So you're saying that is the multiverse?
Yes.
Okay.
So like, if you've ever seen in slow motion a buckshot explode in like ballistics, if you were to catch all of those little tiny BBs in a ballistics shell after it hits it and explodes, each one of those BBs is a universe, a perturbation.
Okay.
One of those is us, the other ones are slightly different replicas. I'm losing it! I thought there was only one! I don't get it! I'm gonna lose my mind.
Is this why you didn't... We did a video on your reincarnation stories. That's what this man was explaining to me.
Reincarnation?
Yeah, we were talking about reincarnation, and you were asking this man's soul why he wanted his name to be the same in this lifetime, or in his lifetime. And
Okay.
He said that he wanted his name to be the same because of it's his dad's name.
Yeah.
And you were confused as to why it mattered because his dad was dead. But I told you that time doesn't matter. He's alive and he's dead and all of those things. It's because he showed me this.
Because he's alive and dead, and still it would maybe matter to him in a different multiverse.
Yes.
Fucking A!
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose it!
I get it now why you didn't understand it.
No. Because I was like,
Yeah,
there's
sorry.
one Earth, so it doesn't matter.
I didn't know you didn't get that.
We're a perturbation. A perturbation.
Well, I still think there's one. They're showing me, it's like, they keep showing me like light going over the Earth over and over and over again, because each time we make a decision, we change the Earth and we change everything about everything. So that's why I keep saying we create two things. We're not necessarily creating two things, it's just two different movies. But however, it's 10 times more complex than that.
Yes.
So I don't know what you mean by universe, because I view a universe as our solar system universe. That is the universe, that's the set.
Yeah,
However,
but there's more
the
of them.
multiverse is like the movies. They are the VHS and DVDs,
Oh, the
if you will.
movies of every one of those.
Yes, and it is based upon the choices that you make is going to change absolutely everything, which is why mutations happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Gonna lose it.
You need to watch Marvel movies, because they have this idea.
I watched Rick and Morty. Okay. Okay, so the goal of perturbation theory is to relate aspects of the motion of a given system to those of a nearby solvable system. So it's kind of like physicists are trying to figure out the equilibrium of things. to figure out if there's a plausibility of something to exist outside of it. We have this understanding that something is built like ours, and if these perturbations are just little quirks and break-offs of what we already know, we say that God is a system, right?
Yeah.
Like a cellular body.
Yeah.
Each universe is a different cell, which is why it's slightly different, slightly mutated. It might be a skin cell. It might be a skin cell that turns into a mole. It's still fine. It's still a skin cell, but the structure of it is slightly different. It could even be a bone cell. Doesn't matter. But where did that all come from? The same stem cell, which is the Big Bang Theory. So using their understanding of the laws and mathematical equations that explain our universe itself, they're trying to numerically figure out the possibility, which they think is plausible because of this idea, and seeing how little tiny explosions work, the theoretical plausibility and number of multiverses. So it's like, we know roughly how many cells are in our body, kind of. Now we're trying to figure out how many cells of the universe there are. And those cells are slightly different than ours. And we're using the idea of what we already know to figure it out, which is the thing that I just said. So the goal of perturbation theory is to relate aspects of the motion of a given system, the system being our solar system, to those of the nearby solvable system, which is going to be the hypothetical ideas of a multiverse, or different systems that are similar to ours but slightly different. So through like ridiculous amounts of like, what is it called, probability and statistics, as well as like quantum mechanics and like astrology and cosmology, they're trying to figure out how many there are. And that's where I wanted to tell you how many multiverses people think there are.
People have a number.
Yes.
Interesting.
But it's also very
Off.
yes. Stanford physicist Andre Lindy and another man by the name of Vitaly Van Kuren figured out that there are limiting factors. So they believe possibly that there are 10 to the 10 to the 16 multiverses, or like different universes making the multiverse. But this is limited by human understanding and our brain capacity, because we don't understand everything within our system to create a good enough set of numbers for our perturbation theory to figure out if statistically we could have these other Earth universes. So like it's limited to that because our understanding about our universe.
Because Zeroth is just like, this is how they're doing it.
Yes!
They're just like counting their fingers.
And it's so funny, but like in science,
and it's like the cell is trying to understand the expanse of the entire body is what he's telling me. And I'm like, yeah, I know. They're not even going to be close to the number that... And he's also like, it doesn't matter.
yeah. So they think it actually possibly, instead of being 10 to the 10 to the 16, they think it could possibly be as many as 10 to the 10 to the 10 to the 7. Do you know how many zeros that is? That is a lot.
You just said a lot of numbers.
It's
to me.
a lot.
Well, yeah. Dude, it blows my mind that you didn't understand this until now, because you literally talked to my future self, and I was asking you questions about my future self, and I thought that you understood what I was talking about, but you also said, he says that this is going to make sense to you, because he was giving you very simple answers.
I thought that our future selves, I figured, were our future selves on this life. And it's weird because in our future selves, I thought I was going to be the boy and you were going to be the girl. But then I talked to a future self where it was flipped and you were the boy and I was the girl. So that makes sense. So the last thing is, in cosmology, there's something called a Hubble volume. So we're talking about the Big Bang, quantum fluctuations, and classical perturbations. Now, at the end of these quantum fluctuations, there is something called the Hubble volume or the Hubble sphere. This is a subluminal sphere or casual sphere that is the observable universe's surrounding. It's the observable space beyond which objects recede from the observer at a rate greater than the speed of light due to the expansion of the universe. Basically, a Hubble volume or Hubble sphere is an astrophysicist's horizon. So, when you are in school for art, what do they teach you about horizons?
I have no idea.
What?
What are you talking
You took
about?
drawing 1. I'm trying to make it relatable to the people that aren't science people. That took like basic drawing classes.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what you're relating this to. Are you
So-
talking about the perspective drawings?
Yes. In perspective drawings, what do they teach you about the horizon?
I have no idea.
What do you mean?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, when I took drawing 1
Yeah.
in college, because I was in band, so I didn't have to learn how to draw. They teach you that when you are doing perspective drawings of things, you have to take the horizon into account. So the horizon is exactly what it is, a point in space where the end of the picture ends because the Earth actually starts to round, right?
Okay.
So what did you learn about it in school? Is that all you learned about it in art school?
They don't necessarily talk about the horizon, they talk about the vanishing point.
Thank you. What is the vanishing
Not the
point?
horizon. Well, the vanishing point is where all of the things kind of like angle in towards it, which is why when you draw a box, you have the square of the box and then the sides angle towards the vanishing point.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
That's what you mean by the horizon?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The vanishing point. For everybody to give them what the Hubble volume is, but
Interesting.
in a different way that they can conceptualize it. It is the vanishing point of our ability, due to the speed of light, to see the universe beyond ourselves. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that freaking cool as shit? So, this is measured as 10 to the 31 cubic light years. That is our vanishing point as humans. We are limited to understanding anything beyond that because it is the vanishing point of our scientific understanding. Literally and figuratively.
Okay.
So we try to use numbers to go beyond the vanishing point.
Got you.
Yeah, it makes me really excited. So our universe alone has a radius or visible horizon estimated to be about 46.5 billion light years with a diameter of about 28.5 gigaspheres or 93 billion light years. If you're looking for like the circumference or vanishing point of our universe, it has a radius of 46.5 billion light years and a diameter of 28.5 gigaspheres, which is
So how is
93
this
billion light
related to
years.
parallel universes?
Because you're going to talk about how light is everything,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Light is time.
Yes.
Okay.
So scientists think, and I thought and argued with you in this original video of this that you lost to time, which is funny.
Watch me find it now. I know I found half of it, so.
That as humans, our vanishing point or Hubble sphere is that, and it is limited by light years. And light years is time because our perception of time is literally dictated by our ability to see light and process it as time.
Okay.
Because if everything was dark, you wouldn't have time. You wouldn't have existence.
Okay.
Okay.
How does that relate to parallel universes?
Because you're going to talk about how scientists think that these quantum fluctuations are physical entities. However, they're not. They're refracting points of light.
Mm-hmm. So, live, like I said earlier.
It's like a pyramid. Sorry. They're helping me understand this now because I know what you're going to say and I can't explain it. Okay, you know in Egypt how, and if you don't know, in Egypt, the Egyptians have pyramids, right? They had pyramids. So in order to get light into these giant pyramids, what they would do is they would like make little holes in the top of it and then use mirrors to refract the light into different parts of the pyramid to illuminate them because they didn't have electricity. And this is literally what parallel universes are. These quantum fluctuations are not physical existences. They are just the mirrors within the pyramid of the universe to refract.
Which gives us. Go on.
I don't remember.
Which gives us.
Gives us the perception of parallel dimensions.
Okay, now say that without thinking really hard. Doesn't remember what you said a second.
Yes, because I'm literally talking to a man. I'm not talking, someone else is.
Sorry, cut.
Which gives
what
us-
you say.
Which gives us the perception of physical existences or parallel universes. It's not. It's just our refracting of light. I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, I thought you were saying that our like spotlight of our existence is all that we can understand, and then our parallel universes happens outwardly from that, and I'm like, that's not right. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they're telling me that.
I understand now.
Scientists think that quantum perturbations are physical existences, but they're not. They're just the mirrors refracting the different things. Those are the things that you were talking about with the cameras.
Yeah.
Different angles. No! It's happening again.
So it's easier for humans, us as people and physical beings, to understand things as separate, which is why earlier I was like, separation is an illusion, and Liv just learned that.
I still struggle with it daily.
When we recorded this the first time, Liv and I were fighting about the fact that she thought there were like 10 to the 10 to the 10 million billion
10 to the 10 to the 16
Earths that are all separate, and there were like weird things going on each Earth because of this parallel theory universe thing. You know what I'm talking about? When you make the opposite decision and then literally everything else changes, whatever, they do like series on it, you know? And I was trying to explain to her, which is hard because Liv and I think very differently, that nothing is separated, it's just happening on different almost like planes or angles. So the way that I explained it to her is you have the Earth, and the Earth is kind of like a set for a play or whatever, or a TV series. Wall. Yeah. So the Earth is a set, and then you have a camera that records a movie of your life right now when you're existing, all of your decisions and choices that you made
from camera one
on this Earth, right? Well, you also have the parallel universes where you make different decisions. There's this, you have one Earth, and we're having that life where we make different decisions. So there's a different camera filming your life, making the opposite decisions of things.
Different angle.
But at the same time, you have to understand that there is still one of you and one of the Earth. The best way I can describe it is you need to watch Naruto in order for you to understand any of the things that go on in my head. Is in Naruto has shadow clones. The shadow clones look separate, however they are still a part of Naruto.
ああ、なんか修行の時間をズルしまくる方法って。
それはな。多重影分身だ。
What?
And what they figure out is when Naruto has shadow clones, he can train faster because the shadow clones are going to go do things and learn lessons. And then when he comes together and is, again, one Naruto, he knows all of the lessons his shadow clone learned.
よし、じゃあオリジナル側と影分身側の2組に分かれて。
影分身の方はやれー！勝った！加賀先生のおごりだってばや！
はいはい。
一楽ラーメン、加賀先生のおごりだってばよ。じゃんけんに勝ったからね。
So it's the same thing with the parallel universes. You learned so much more with your shadow clones going through different parallel universes, and then when you pass, you come together as one Naruto, and then you know all of the lessons, which is why there is literally not a thing that you're supposed to do. You can't get around the thing you're supposed to do because you're going to do it in one of your parallel universes. Because as a tarot reader, I have so many people coming to me and they're like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Your soul contract is written in decisions that you have to make. And it is not that you're making one decision, you're making both of them. And you're just planning what decisions are going to come your way. So that's what Liv is talking about with these mirrors. The light represents time within our existence. A lot of people think time is linear because we're physical beings. It's almost like we're in a river. In the river, like I explain this a lot, we're in this river, so that's why we view time as linear, because the current of the river is pushing us in one direction. However, the river also has all of these forks in the road, it turns, it goes upward and down, all of these things. And we don't view it that way because we're in the current. If we were a spiritual being, which we are when we pass, we step out of the stream of time and are able to jump in at any moment. Which is why my future self came in as a spiritual being, jumped into where Liv and I were talking to him, and told me all of these things that my future is not predetermined and there's nothing that I'm supposed to do because I'm going to have decisions that I get to make based upon my decisions prior. So if you've ever played those video games, I don't know what they're called, I forget, where you have like the butterfly effect, where you make decisions. I think they're like Telltale. So you have the decision to like go follow the weird voice in the forest or to not do that.
And stay home and eat cookies instead.
And it affects everything else in the game. Same but different. String theory.
String theory. String theory is a little bit different. I think string theory, no, they're like, no, it's not. It's all the same.
Mm-hmm. It's the angles that you were talking about with the weird mirrors. String theory.
No, that's light.
I know, but it falls into string theory.
Probably. The way I don't start with me, Emily. This is enough for me. You're paying for my
The
trauma.
first time we did this, I was 150% expecting you to come in with string theory. And you're like, did you know that there's multiple Earths? And I was like, okay, I can understand why you think there's multiple Earths, but there's not, because the Earth is a being and it has one soul just like us.
I figured, no, the way I understand string theory without at all understanding
Without researching it.
without researching it, just from existing and listening to whatever every else person I've heard of talk about, is that everything is made of strands and then something like a giant grandmother knits you into existence out of strings. That's string theory in the most simplified and comedic way possible. And for me right now, we can't talk about string theory. We're only gonna understand that parallel universes are not, they are quantum perturbations. However, quantum perturbations are not physical existences of Earths. They are mirrors reflecting lights like in an Egyptian pyramid to give us the perception and understanding of parallel universes, because if you change the way you're viewing something, it looks different, but that's what they are. One Earth, lots of quantum perturbation mirrors in the pyramid of the universe. And I'm gonna absolutely need therapy after this.
So if you would like to add to the things that Liv needs therapy for and would like us to cover string theory, please comment down below and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that you know when we post about string theory.
We're gonna be posting the podcast that we did to this, which
is gonna be completely different.
So it's gonna be the same understanding, I'm sure, but worded differently, because we did it months ago.
Liv has been having a existential crisis about refilming this, so here we are.
We'll see you in Sunday's podcast. We are your better side. Hey! You asked for it. It's your fault. Your fault.
Your fault.
Your fault. All of you watching, you were like, let's talk about parallel universes, and now I need therapy and a drink. A very stiff drink.
Yeah, because I saw videos about people thinking that black holes are portals, and they're not portals. Like, Spirit told them that they're not portals. And it's because
Is it one of
it's
those
dark energy.
people that don't think dark things exist, though?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those people that, like, throw bones. So Spirit answers.
And said what? That black holes...
Black holes are not portals, and they're not portals. What?
Didn't
You
just
think you can go
say-
through a black hole?
No, it's like things come out of them. Things can go into them, but the stuff that's dark comes out of them.
Yes. But it's not a portal. You think the thing in Janelle's house is a black hole?
I don't think it is. I think it's loosely based off the structure of one, because
Well, yeah.
everything is similar to other things.
I think the
trees
density-
are portals.
Yes, I don't think a black hole is necessarily a portal. Because there's
You
too
think they're
much
like
density.
connectors?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to ask you. But
Ah,
I don't know how to ask.
got it. No, they're showing
Because
me.
if you went through this, you would demise. I don't care if you're a soul or not.
Mhm.
It would crush you.
Well, if you're a soul, it doesn't matter though. That's the thing. It only crushes physical things.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
still think it
know.
would f you up.
No, you're right.
Because it doesn't matter. You're a frequency. The frequency that's in here
Is nothing.
it would
Yeah.
crush you.
No, I get it.
You would not do well if you were a soul going into a black hole.
It's making me think of like microtubules and microfilaments, which are structures that keep cells to have rigidity. So like,
Oh, that's cool.
it's like
Yeah.
they're the support
Wait,
beams
do you have a
between
picture of
the
that?
universes. Yeah, look up microtubules.
Because that's what I'm seeing, I feel like.
Yeah, no, that's why I
'Cause
stopped
I'm like, I
arguing
don't
with
know
you.
what that means.
That's why I stopped arguing with you because I
Okay,
saw it too.
what about-
Did you see it in black and green?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's
Because it
usually
looks
how they're
like
stained.
this.
Yes.